This is Jarrod Horak, and this is my latest Kentucky Derby 2024 Contenders Report. Right now it is Sunday, April 28th. We're less than a week out from the Kentucky Derby. Last night they drew the post positions, and I did a video analyzing the post draw. You can watch that on my YouTube channel, along with my other daily Kentucky Derby video reports. And if you're interested in reading my Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks articles, you'll find those at todaysracingdigest.com on their Kentucky Derby page. And if you need past performances for the Kentucky Derby, Kentucky Oaks Day, you can get those at todaysracingdigest.com as well. And I'm going to be doing my annual Triple Crown Series full cards that you can purchase at todaysracingdigest.com or at my personal website, therunawayhorse.com. And the full cards that I'm going to be covering for the Triple Crown season this year: Kentucky Derby week, I'm going to be doing Kentucky Oaks Day full card on May 3rd, and then May 4th, Kentucky Derby Day full card. For May 17th, the Black-Eyed Susan Day at Pimlico, and then May 18th, Preakness Day. And then for Belmont Stakes week, the 4-day Belmont Stakes Festival at Saratoga later this spring. I'm going to do full cards all 4 days. Go over to the runawayhorse.com on my sales page for more details. And now we'll get into the latest Kentucky Derby news. Now, I missed some news yesterday on April 27th. Now, the track's been really fast for these workouts. I've been talking about the workouts each day, and the track has been producing fast times. So don't be fooled by some of these fast times. Just the most important thing is how the horses are moving over the track as we approach the Kentucky Derby. Now, Just a Touch was one that had a solo move yesterday that I did not talk about in my April 27th video. He was opening 4 furlongs in 48, 5 furlongs in a minute point 80, 26th best of 58, and then he was out 6 furlongs in 113 and change. I thought he glided over the track nicely, had good energy, and that should set him up for a decent effort on the first Saturday in May. He drew a good post. He drew post 8 for the Derby. Another horse, but he didn't look too good going over the track on April 27th, just galloping and getting a little energy. T.O. Password from Japan. He's only run 2 times. He was washy. He didn't look good going over the track at Churchill Downs on Saturday, and we'll see if he has a better week, Derby week. He's very inexperienced, and he's one that could end up impacting the pace. Now, on April 28th, we had 5 workers earlier today. Catalytic, 4 furlongs, 47.80, 13th best of 60 on the day, out 5 furlongs in a minute point 87, 6 furlongs in 114.37. This was a decent enough work. He's one from post 5 that he could end up being a stalking presence, most likely just right behind the first few speed horses. Now, Stronghold had to work for trainer Phil D'Amato, and he worked in company with Notorious, a turf sprint stakes winner. Their fractions were 35.71, 5 furlongs and 59.78, 6 furlongs, 113 and change. Not a bad work for Stronghold. He's one that's going to have to work out some kind of trip from post 18. I think that's a tough post position for a horse with good tactical speed. Now, Just Steel for trainer D. Wayne Lucas, maintenance move, slow move, a half mile in 50.43. After trying to go a little bit quicker early, they went 25.75 for the opening quarter. His exercise rider tried to get him to go a bit quicker. It wasn't really interested in going quicker there, so it was just a maintenance move for trainer D. Wayne Lucas. He had a 1-mile workout earlier on. Now, Track Phantom is going to be adding blinkers for the Kentucky Derby, so he's definitely going to be a pace factor. He's been a pace factor in all of his races. He worked with a maiden from his barn. 4 furlongs, 47.21, 5 furlongs, a minute and 8, and then 6 furlongs, 113.74. Just a solid move for trainer Steve Asmussen. He's one that's going to have to do better because in his last 2 starts at a mile and an eighth and a mile and 3/16, he lost ground in the stretch, and now he's got to go a mile and a quarter. He drew well post 12. The blinkers should have him right up there early, but there's some other horses that like to be up on the pace as well. And then finally, Resilience. He's going to have to overcome post 19 for the Kentucky Derby. He was first in the Wood Memorial last time out, adding blinkers. And in this work, I like this work. It was good, solid Derby work. 25.02 for the opening quarter, 49.16, out 6 furlongs in 114.94. So I like these kind of Derby works where they orchestrate a nice, slow, early tempo, pick it up a little bit in the middle, and then have a nice gallop out. And that's exactly what Resilience did for trainer Bill Mott. Seems to be coming up to the race in good order. And now we'll talk about some more about the post position draw. And I mentioned it last night that Dornoch from post 1 is going to have to go. That's a post position that He's a speed horse, and really as speed horses, you just don't want to see speed horses drawing down towards the inside, especially with a lot of speed to their outside. He has some horses that are going to be right up there. Catalytic from post 5 has some good tactical speed, but you have Just the Touch and Encino, possibly T.O. Password, and then further out you have the speed of Fierceness, and Stronghold likes to be forwardly placed as well. So those are some of the horses that could be forwardly placed and right up with Dornoch, but Dornoch's just going to have the strategy of trying to get the lead from the inside post, and if he can do that, maybe try to slow it down. That's going to be his best chance to win this race, is to get that comfortable early lead, but I don't know that he's going to be able to do that. He might have to expend too much energy from that inside post trying to go to the lead. That's going to hurt him. Now, some people are concerned about Sierra Leone getting post 2. With these post positions, and especially because he's a closer, the main thing is going to be how much pace help is he going to get, and just what kind of trip is he going to get. You're just not going to know those things no matter what post that he gets. So if he would have drawn, if people like him and he would have gotten post 10, but then he got no pace help, it wouldn't really matter anyway. He's just not going to be able to get there. He's going to need, no matter where he breaks from, and he's breaking from post 2 here, he's going to need some kind of a relatively clean trip, and he's going to need pace help if he's going to be able to make an impact in the stretch. That's just the way that it's going to play out. So we'll just have to see how it all plays out. From the running style of the horses around him, you have Dornoch from post 1 with a lot of speed. So possibly if Dornoch just goes, Sierra Leone can fall into a good spot, but you just never know if horses come over and he could get shuffled back. We don't know anything about that until they break, and then we see how it all plays out. And then Mystik Dan breaking to his outside. He's a horse that probably has more speed than Sierra Leone. And then Catching Freedom, another horse that likes to come from off the pace from post 4, probably has a bit more speed than Sierra Leone as well. He can be positioned maybe in mid-pack. I would expect Sierra Leone to be coming from a bit further back than that. As I mentioned, Catalytic's got some decent speed. Just Steel from post 6, more of a stalking type. Honor Marie from post 7, no reason why he couldn't work out a good closing trip from that post. I thought Just a Touch from post 8 really does have a good draw. He's got good tactical speed, and I can see Florendrew picking out a good position, forwardly placed, probably right behind 2 or 3 speed horses. Then you have Encino, likes to be forwardly placed. You have an aggressive young 19-year-old rider, Axel Concepcion, aboard, and he exits a wire-to-wire victory in the Lexington Stakes, and he showed good speed in a recent workout. So Encino is one that should be forwardly placed. T.O. Password from Japan with only 2 starts. Kazushi Kimura, Woodbine rider. He's been riding at Santa Anita this year. He's been doing well at Santa Anita. He's back to Woodbine now. So he's got a quality rider on his back, but T.O. Password with only 2 starts. He looked washy last week. He's one that could end up, just because of his inexperience, and he just might want to go early. Wouldn't be surprised. Forever Young, for him, post 11, they're going to want to stay out in the clear because he doesn't like kickback. So Forever Young can just sit there in mid-pack, out wide in the clear, not getting kickback. Maybe he'll run a decent race. Track Phantom, as I said, putting blinkers on. He's been a pace factor in all of his races. I would expect that he's going to be in this race as well. West Saratoga, he's one that will probably come from a bit off the pace, endlessly switching surfaces, trying dirt for the first time. He's a closer. You have Domestic Product for Chad Brown. He's been involved in paceless races this year in both of his starts. He finished second in the Holy Bull, rallying from off the pace. And then in his last start in the Tampa Bay Derby, he won that one. Those races were at 1 mile and a 16th, so he's going to go from 1 mile and a 16th to 1 mile and a quarter. He's a good workhorse. He's had a couple bullet workouts. He's going to have 8 weeks between starts, and we're going to have to see what kind of style they decide to use. This year, they took blinkers off to get him to relax. So I would think that they want to be sitting somewhere near mid-pack. Grandmo the First, another one, probably a bit off the pace. You have Fierceness from post 17. Now, post 17 overall record, 0 for 44, but I wouldn't worry about that because for Fierceness, he needed to get that outer draw. He likes to be involved early, and he didn't want to be bogged down on the inside having to hustle. So now if he can get a clean break, the pace isn't ridiculously fast, and he can get up on that pace and run his early pressing race. He's faster than the others on speed ratings, and he's one that can certainly win the Kentucky Derby. Then you have Stronghold. He's one that likes to be forwardly placed, pressing the pace, but out from post 18 with multiple speed horses towards his inside. Antonio Fraser is going to have to work out some kind of trip aboard that one. And Resilient from post 19. He's another one that likes to stalk the pace like Stronghold. Both of those horses are going to have to work out some kind of trip. from post positions that could be difficult. We'll have to see how that, again, we just don't know how the break's going to play out. But just looking at it, if everybody kind of breaks the way you think they will, those two horses, Stronghold and Resilience, could end up wide and stalking the pace, and they could be in a little bit of trouble. Then Society Man with Frankie Dettori, he'll have to certainly work out a trip from post 20. Then we have two also eligibles, Epic Ride and Mugatu. One of those two, Epic Ride needs one defection to get in, and Mugatu needs two defections to get into the race. So that's my look again at the post positions, the latest workouts, and the latest news for the Kentucky Derby. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you like this horse racing content, and keep checking my YouTube channel throughout Kentucky Derby week. I'm going to be posting more videos. I'm going to be doing a video for a Kentucky Oaks analysis where I'm going to go through the field, give out my top choice, and I'm going to do the same thing for the Kentucky Derby. And I have other videos planned as well next week. So keep looking at my YouTube channel for those. And until I see you next time, good luck at the races.